Today we're going to talk about release choices. We're going to talk about a caliper style release, which today I think about 90% of the hunters use these. One of the first things you want to do is you want to fit it to your wrist. So that's my first fit, because this release is adjustable by removing that screw and that screw, so it'll adjust to the length of my hand or my finger when I'm at full draw, because they all stretch. So don't be convinced as soon as you hold it that it's too short, because a lot of guys, I'll put it in their hand and they'll go, oh my gosh, Mike, that's way too short. But you'll see, even with a simulator, that it stretches out and it fits me perfectly. So the release fit is a huge deal, because my bow can fit me. If I put another release in my hand that is longer, that just made my draw length too long. And if it's shorter, it made it too short. So before you set your draw length with the other parameters we gave you, remember the release is an integral part of your draw length. With a caliper style release or any release, you can shoot this thing pretty much 4 different ways. You can slap the snot out of the trigger, which is usually the least accurate. You can slow manipulate it. So if I anchor and I slowly squeeze it like a rifle and my hand stays on my jaw, that's slow manipulation. As I anchor into my jaw, like we talked about previously, and I just squeeze the trigger. If you come to full draw, you get on the trigger and I increase my back tension or pull on the bow a little bit more, and I squeeze the trigger at the same time, that's slow manipulation and back tension all in one. And then I get up here and I squeeze, my hand comes off because I have preloaded pressure in my back. Then you can use pure back tension, which I hook around the trigger and I increase the pressure in my back, which pulls on the release. My hand stretches out a little bit and the release goes off, which I'll demonstrate for you. I relax, get up around the trigger, and I just increase the pressure on my bow with my back, and the shot just breaks. What we forget is we all think that the only torque on the bow, or where we can torque the bow, is at our bow hand. You can torque the bow as much at your loop, if not more, than your bow hand. So whatever you do to the loop, you do to the arrow. If you're on top of the trigger like this, and every time you execute, you hammer it down, well, the back of your loop goes down. We're in the age of very, very high let-off bows, which, remember, whatever you do to the loop, you do to the arrow. If your loop goes down, the back of the arrow dishes just a little bit. So this should help you with accuracy with a caliper release.